This is a message from a group of senior doctors and scientists, all with decades of experience. Many of us are parents and grandparents too. We are very worried about routine COVID vaccines for healthy children.
And here's why. First and foremost, it's not necessary. The risk to healthy children from COVID is incredibly small. More than half of the secondary school children in the United Kingdom have had COVID already, many of them with no symptoms at all.
We are concerned that the children themselves are actually not at specific risk of this disease. The incidence of infection in children is quite high, but yet very few of them have suffered significant problems. You will have heard a lot in the press of long COVID in children, but the evidence of a specific condition related to COVID, which is going to affect these young children, is actually not sustained by the publications that we have all been able to view.
The vaccines appear to reduce serious illness, hospitalizations and deaths in vulnerable adults, but they do not prevent people getting infected, nor from passing the virus on. Whatever we do, COVID will continue to circulate in our communities and in our schools.
Naturally acquired immunity is stronger, broader, longer lasting than that provided by vaccination. So if children continue to catch COVID at school, they'll simply build up long-lasting natural immunity which will protect them without the need for either vaccines or booster shots.
The problem with the vaccines has already been highlighted by the fact that you're going to need booster injections. And therefore I was suggesting that your child, your grandchild, should have an injection every few months or few years to back up the failing antibody response from the vaccine. The evidence says nature is far better than man in adapting to new diseases.
But, I hear you say, if it's safe, surely we should do anything that might help. And that's the problem. All drugs and vaccines have side effects, and we accept that. But for the COVID vaccines, the risk of side effects appears to be higher the younger you are. So for healthy children with a really strong immune system, the dangers of COVID are tiny, but the risks of side effects, such as heart inflammation, are increased. And we do not yet have any long-term safety data.
These COVID vaccines work in a completely different way in our bodies than all the other vaccines that we have ever used before. We simply don't know and cannot know at this point how safe they are. We must indeed be cautious.
Parents, of course, want what is safest for their child, and many are decided not to give their consent. But teenagers can choose to go ahead anyway if it's deemed that they understand the long-term implications of their decision. But how can you understand that when even the government scientists don't yet know?
Children want to do the right thing, and they're being told by celebrities, most of whom know no medicine at all, and the media to take that in taking the vaccines, they will help protect their families. But the vaccine is already there for adults. It's not children's responsibility to protect us.
We do not need our children, our grandchildren, to sacrifice anything for us. We only need to make sure that our children are given the medication that benefits their lives for their future and not for ours.
So our message is clear. You don't need to protect us.
You don't need to risk your health.
You don't need to take this vaccine, not for my sake.
Certainly, you do not need the jab for our sake.